Rick PT, welcome on back. Episode 2 of the squat matrix. We're not going wide with it. First episode, we went kind of the standard foot position. That middle row that you see on the box there, the X, the W, and the N, we're going to be focusing on the W in that box this time instead of the X, which means that for all of our squats, we went from kind of a normal foot positioning before. We're going wide. So as you play with these, as you experiment, as you own these, you'll be able to separate your feet further and further. The reason for kind of this side to side tweak now that I love is that it really goes after in a lot of unique ways kind of the groin kind of complex and that hip complex, so, and also kind of the feet and ankles. So an interesting kind of phenomenon. So let's go a good XWX stance first. XWX, and again, those nine little checker boxes right there is what we're picking and choosing from. But the middle row, we're staying with the W. The top and the bottom, we're playing around with all those. So 9 different positions here coming on up. I'll take you through kind of the positions. I'll tell you a little bit and share a little bit as to why I like them. Let's go in XWX position first. So nice and wide. Drop your butt down as far as you can. I love this because immediately it really goes after that groin. I can really feel the deceleration of the bilateral adduction, that abduction of the adductor complex, the gracilis. So I'll just add my kind of little top-down driver here, the upper extremity to get that pelvis really kind of rotating forward to get that hip flexion. Let's go ahead and rotate the feet on up now. So a little XWE. So again, I'm creating a little bit of space now in the anterior hip capsules, and then going after some dorsiflexion eversion down at the feet and the ankles. So if I have some restrictions in front of the hip capsules here, it's a great way for me to create a little space, kind of mobilize that capsule, but then to also kind of assess feet and ankles, and then also the hips. I love them now. So tissue, 3-dimensional characteristics, needs to be mobilized, needs to move in all planes. XWI, we're taking up the slack and all that tissue in the back of the butt, going after all those little rotators, going after that posterior hip capsule, and then loading the feet and the ankles, dorsiflexion and inversion, dorsiflexion, inversion. And let's go right at it. Let's go another one. And then I'll head on into my staggered foot progressions. And to be quite honest with you, rarely, if ever, do I ever do the standard kind of the XXX, the XWE, XWI type squats. I go right for the home run. And why not? Why not do that instead of just hitting singles? I don't like to mess around a whole lot. I like to get the feet staggered, because in life and in function, nothing's ever perfectly cute and symmetrically set up for us to be able to move. So with that, I like to incorporate mobility, relative motion kind of that pelvis. So when I have a foot that's staggered and that's forward, I will then get rotation of the pelvis. Let's say in this position with my leg forward, I'm getting rotation of the pelvis to the left already. So I love kind of that transverse plane, and I love just really feeding on into him. So let's go a little RWX right here, a little RWX. And let's go with our squat and our nice kind of reach. So I'm kind of getting a nice little stretch, nice little load of that back foot and ankle. So I'm getting some good dorsiflexion, getting some good eversion of both feet and ankles. Again, top down driver. I'm just going straight anterior right now. Getting some good anterior rotation of the pelvis. And then I'll go in RWE position. RWE, creating space now in that anterior hip capsule. Creating space in the anterior hip capsule. And then let's go a little RWI, again to go after the dorsiflexion and inversion at the feet and ankles, more weight bearing on the left side. Really loading up that left hip into internal rotation because of the pelvis rotating to the left. Get some good hip flexion bilaterally with my reach down and in, and a great stretch of that posterior hip capsule. These are some of my favorite. So these are a big time, kind of deep little stretch. And then let's go LWX. So LWX positioning, same as the right side. Let's go with our 2 and our 3 for the sake of just kind of showing you guys these. Let's go in LWE. LWE. I'll introduce you all to some of the secrets in terms of my swings, my pendy swings, and different dimensional reaching in just a little bit. To go after the feet and the ankles and the hips, providing my rationale for the nerdiness. Let's go in LWI to finish off this 9th one. Just a nice little squat, nice little reach. Getting a lot of good dorsiflexion inversion at that right foot and ankle. And a lot of good deceleration of the abduction, just kind of down in that pubic symphysis, down that anterior kind of ilium, kind of anterior pelvic girdle. Play around with those 9, guys. Episode number 3, we're going to be going after kind of the narrow position. Just kind of almost taking out the frontal plane a little bit, going with narrow feet. Play with those. I think you'll find a lot of great success.